Hi, welcome to February's Basic Saturday Sampler here at Close to Home in Southington, Connecticut. I'm Janet Glynn, and today we're going to go over the easy angle ruler to make half-square triangles. So your kits, which are available starting this Saturday, February 19th at 10 a.m., all you need to do is bring in your January's completed block between this Saturday, February 19th, and the end of February, which is February 28th, to receive your February kit free. So make sure you do bring in your completed block as soon as you can. Classes are forming here at Close to Home. We have in Southington the Iron Pad Caddy, a Mondo bag, free motion quilting, and beginning quilting classes. You can come in, see the samples, sign up here, pick up your supplies, or you can go to our website at closetohomestores.com, look for classes, Southington, and you can sign up and pay for your classes and print your supply list right online. On Saturday, this February 19th, we will have selected bolts that are 50% off to finish the bolt, just like we used to. So make sure that you check out our Finish the Bolts. All right, we're ready to start. We are working on the easy angle, and we are making half-square triangles. So you'll notice I have a finished 3-inch half-square triangles and a finished 6-inch new fabric for February. This one has shells. So last month we did the turtles, then February we did the shells. Next month we'll do turtles, etc., 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 and keep mixing these in every other month. All right, so we're going to work on cutting our kits and sewing a nice half-square triangle. So let's go down to cutting the kits, or easy angle. So this is the ruler that we're going to be using. It's by Easy Quilting, and it makes a finished half-square triangle anywhere from a 1-inch up to a 6-inch finished triangle, I should say. And today we're going to be working on a 3-inch finished triangle, and we've cut our fabric 3.5-inch strips. So there is no add 7/8 to the finished size and draw lines or anything like that. We're just going to put our strips together, use the angle and the markings on the tool to cut our half-square triangles. We're going to press them and get our blocks sewn together. Sounds like fun? Let's go look at cutting. So your kit, very super simple. The multi, we're just going to cut this into a 6.5-inch strip and 2 6.5-inch squares. When I cut my cream, brown, and orange strips 3.5 wide, I'm going to lay them right sides together. So I look at my fabric, determine which is my right side. I'm going to go ahead and lay my brown fabric and my orange fabric. All right, so these are going to get cut at 3.5. So first thing I want to do is go ahead and get a nice straight edge rolling. Okay, so I get my nice long ruler out and push down on my ruler, move my arms, and completely go all the way through. Make sure you have a nice sharp blade. That's going to help you quite a bit. And the next thing I'm going to do is cut this at 3.5 wide. So when using that ruler, our finished half-square triangles, our strips are cut just a 1/2 inch wider. So here's my finished edge that I just cut, nice clean edge, 1/2 inch plus 1, 2, 3. So I'm cutting a 3.5 inch. Move my hand, stop cutting, and then completely go off the edge of my fabric. All right, so let's get the ruler. So for the ruler, we're going to start with a nice 90-degree edge here. So I can go ahead and do that. Hold on. Get myself a nice edge to start with. Cut off my selvages here. I don't want to work with those. And the easy angle is just going to be placed on the fabric so that, here we are, so that the black point is going to the right, and up at the top is our 3.5 inch marking. It's at the top of our strip, as you can see. So this little notch here is going to come in really handy when we go to put start sewing our half square triangles together. So once I have this along the bottom, my little black tip of my ruler is to the right, I can go ahead and cut my first pair of half square triangles. Remember, these are right sides together. All right, 3.5. I'm on my 3.5. Everything looks good. Go ahead and cut this. Sorry. All right. So we'll put this aside. Oops. Sorry. All right. We're going to turn, since we just cut this one, what we're going to do is we're going to take this 45 degree like a hinge, and we're just going to turn it upside down so that the tip hangs off the edge. We'll go ahead and put that 3.5 inch mark up at the top along the line of our 3.5 inch strip. So we have the 3.5 here, we have the little tip hanging at the bottom of our strip, and we'll go ahead and cut this one. So that's 2. We're going to need a total of 4 each. So we'll swing it back around. The black tip goes to the right. The 3.5 mark goes at the top. Okay. There it goes again. All right. Swing it back over. Three and a half up at the top. This little black corner of my ruler hangs off the bottom of my strip. You can go ahead and cut this. This is extra. So being extra, I can even move this down a little bit farther. You'll notice I have plenty, but I still want to get myself a nice 90 degree. Go ahead and cut my orange and cream. Okay, don't want to waste too much. And we'll go ahead. Now, I'm right-handed and I'm upside down from you guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut it in this direction. It'll be a lot quicker. And again, flip it. Notch at the bottom, 3.5 up at the top. Cut it again. Come back over. This little 3.5 notch goes right up at the top. You'll see a little piece. That's the same thing that we got when we flipped our ruler, whoops, to the other side. So you'll notice we'll have 2 of these, one on each piece. Okay. And flip my ruler. So again, you can make half square triangles anywhere from an inch finished to a 6-inch finished. All right, so we're going to take these over to our sewing machine. And we're going to start, oopsies, we're going to start sewing from the notch, from the flat edge. So I'm going to put these back on. The idea was to try to keep these together. Didn't. All right. So we're going to start at this notch right here, this 90-degree corner, and we're going to sew 1/4 inch down this 45-degree angle. All right. Nice, accurate. So slow if you have to. Let's hope this doesn't. Okay, As I proceed down to the point of my 45 degree, I just want to put my finger on this point so it doesn't separate on me. I have the edge nice and straight right here, and I'll go ahead and you can use a stiletto, you can use the point of a scissors. You just want to guide that right in so it doesn't shift on you. Try another one. We're just going to chain piece these. I'll do a couple brown so I can at least make a square for you. I stabilize my fabrics, of course. The kits are stabilized with Mary Ellen's Best Press. So you want to make sure that you do iron the stabilizer into your fabrics before you cut. It'll keep your 45 degree angle from shifting a little bit. All right, so let's go open these up. Go over to the iron. We're going to press all these toward the cream side. It's just easier because you're going to have 8 of them. So if that's the case, you can even finger press them a little bit. You can open them up and just give them a little bit of a press. You want to make sure that both these sides are completely open. Just give them a little tug, little finger press, and then go ahead and hit them with a little bit of heat. All right. So again, the cream on top, if I'm pressing toward the cream, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of heat, and then we're going to sew these units together. A lot of times when we press these, we don't quite get these points all the way open. If they happen to be just a hair folded over like this, you're going to lose that nice point on your triangle. So you want to make sure that your seams are really opened. Okay. All right, so we're going to follow the picture. You can do it either way, but I'm going to go ahead and follow the picture I'm going to make 2 units, orange brown, and then I'm going to make a brown orange, just like those. All right, so orange, brown, and brown, orange. So when I have these set up, I'll go ahead and take the right one, put it on top of the left one, match up my 90-degree corners, and this should sit right on top of the other half square triangle that's underneath it, and also a 1/4 inch on this side. Alrighty. Don't flip your seam. Make sure you have a nice, accurate 1/4 inch. And if you're still having trouble with your 1/4 inch, keep practicing. Okay, we're going to go ahead and press these. We want to press them in opposite directions. So this one's my bottom piece. This one is my top. Okay, so I'm going to press it toward the orange on this side. So lift up the orange and press it nice and flat. And then this one's going to get pressed toward the orange. So lift it up and press it. Okay, so it's important to be able to see that I do have a 1/4 inch seam allowance at the bottom of this rectangle, and I have a 1/4 inch seam allowance at the bottom of this rectangle. If you're finding that they're jogging at the bottom, your fabrics aren't quite straight, make sure that they sit right on top of each other. Okay, so I'm going to take this one and sew it to this, but I want to make sure that these 2 points line up. So what I'm going to do is when I put them together, I'm going to lock the seam. Then I'm going to take a look and make sure that I have equal points hanging off the edge. And I can go ahead, I can put a pin in there, I can just hold it and go over to my sewing machine and sew 1/4 inch. I think I'm going to put a pin right before it just to hold its spot. Okay, so it doesn't shift on me. Okay, I'm going to start up here at 1/4 inch. When you get to that pin, you want to make sure you pull the pin out. And we're going to press this one more time. Looks pretty good. I got an okay from Heidi. Looks okay. All right, you're going to make 2 of these units. Again, every single one of these half square triangles needs 1/4 inch on all the sides, all the points, as you can see. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble trying to get that. You're going to cut off your point on your square. All right. So once you have your 2 units, this one's going to sit in this direction, and then we're just going to rotate this 180 degrees and put it on this one. So we're going to have 2 6-inch or 6.5 inch squares sewed together, and again we're going to press them toward the 6-inch. The solid squares, we're going to press it this way and we're going to press it that way. So when we put those together, it's going to lock in the center. And I believe what I did on this, you can just press this to one side. If you'd like, there's a little bit of a bulk happening in this intersection right here. So if you want, you can go ahead, open up your seam and give this a nice pressing to seam open. And I believe that's what I did for both of these. When I did each of these units, I did press that last seam open, and then when I put my unit together, there was a little bit of a bulk at each of these points, so it was easier to just open my seam, press that open as well. So I hope you enjoyed this month's block, and thank you for watching.